Here's something that might surprise you. Early detection of dementia can actually slow its progression and significantly improve quality of life. But here's the problem: most people miss the subtle, early signs until it's too late. And that's why I'm here today. In this video, we're going to dive into the 6 early signs of dementia you absolutely need to know about. These aren't just random symptoms, they're critical warning signals your body or your loved ones might already be showing. Recognizing them early can make all the difference. So, stay with me till the end, because understanding these signs could save a life. And trust me, you'll want to share this video. It's knowledge that everyone should have. Let's get started. What is dementia? Let's take a moment to understand dementia. It's not a single disease, but a collection of symptoms that impact memory, thinking, and social abilities so severely that they interfere with everyday life. Imagine forgetting how to do simple tasks, struggling to follow conversations, or even losing your sense of time or place. These are some of the ways dementia can affect someone. The most common type is Alzheimer's disease, but there are other forms too, each with its own challenges. It's a global issue. Over 55 million people worldwide are living with dementia right now, and that number is expected to rise. Number 1, memory loss that disrupts daily life. Let's start with the most commonly recognized symptom of dementia, memory loss. But not all memory lapses are cause for concern, so how do you tell the difference? It's normal to occasionally forget things, like where you put your keys or the name of a new acquaintance, especially as you age. The key here is frequency and impact. When memory loss becomes disruptive, affecting your ability to manage daily tasks or maintain independence, it's a potential red flag. For example, someone with early dementia might forget appointments or conversations and repeatedly ask the same questions, even after getting an answer. Picture this: you tell your loved one about dinner plans, and within an hour, they ask you again and again. It's not just a simple "oops, I forgot," it's a pattern that stands out. Another telltale sign is struggling to retrace steps. Let's say someone loses their keys. A typical person might backtrack their day: I came home, put my bag on the counter, then went to the living room. Someone with early dementia might completely lose that ability, leaving them frustrated and unsure where to even start looking. It's important to understand the difference between normal forgetfulness and memory loss caused by dementia. Forgetting a name and remembering it later is typical aging. Forgetting someone's name entirely, especially someone close to you, can be a warning sign. Why does this happen? Dementia affects the brain's ability to store and retrieve information, making even recent memories feel inaccessible. If you notice this pattern in yourself or someone you care about, it's not something to dismiss. Talking to a healthcare professional early can open up opportunities for evaluation, treatment, and support. Remember, early action can make a world of difference. Number 2, difficulty completing familiar tasks. Another early warning sign of dementia is struggling to complete tasks that used to feel second nature. These aren't new or complicated activities. We're talking about things like cooking your favorite recipe, balancing a checkbook, or operating a household appliance you've used for years. Imagine this scenario: you go to cook a family recipe you've made dozens of times, but suddenly, you forget which ingredient comes next. Or you're about to heat something in the microwave but can't remember which buttons to press. These might seem like small hiccups, but they can signal a deeper issue. Dementia affects parts of the brain responsible for problem solving and focus. Tasks that once felt automatic start to feel overwhelming because the step-by-step thinking process becomes fragmented. It's not just about forgetting. Sometimes, it's about struggling to follow a sequence or make logical connections. It's also important to recognize the difference between normal aging and a sign of dementia. Misplacing your checkbook occasionally is one thing, forgetting how to balance it entirely, or finding it too confusing to even try, is something else. These challenges often lead to frustration or even embarrassment, causing some people to avoid these activities altogether. They might stop cooking meals, pay bills late, or ask others to handle tasks they once managed with ease. If you notice this pattern in yourself or a loved one, don't ignore it. While it might feel like an isolated incident at first, repeated difficulties with familiar tasks are a significant red flag. Talk to a healthcare provider. They can assess what's happening and help guide the next steps. Early intervention is key, and addressing these signs early could make a significant difference in quality of life. Number 3, challenges in problem solving or planning. One of the more subtle but critical early signs of dementia is difficulty with problem solving or planning. These are the skills we rely on for everyday activities, whether it's organizing tasks, following a sequence of steps, or working through simple problems. When these abilities start to slip, it's more than just a minor inconvenience, it's a sign that something deeper could be happening. For example, imagine someone who loves baking and has made the same cake recipe for years. Suddenly, they start skipping steps, forgetting to add the eggs, or misreading the instructions altogether. Another common scenario is forgetting to pay regular bills or struggling to balance a budget. Tasks that used to feel routine become overwhelming or riddled with mistakes. What makes this different from normal forgetfulness? Simple lapses, like forgetting to write down a grocery item, happen to everyone. But when a person begins having consistent trouble completing multi-step tasks, especially ones they've always been good at, it's a warning sign. This isn't about memory alone, it's about the brain's ability to organize, prioritize, and execute. Dementia disrupts cognitive functions, particularly in the areas of the brain that handle reasoning and problem solving. As a result, tasks that require logical thinking or a sequential approach become difficult, if not impossible. This breakdown in cognitive abilities often leads to frustration and even avoidance. People might stop trying to manage their finances or hand off responsibilities to others. If you or someone you know is experiencing this, it's essential to take it seriously. While it's easy to brush it off as stress or aging, consistent challenges with planning and problem solving could indicate early dementia. Consulting a healthcare professional can help determine the cause and what steps to take next. Number 4, confusion with time or place. Another early sign of dementia is confusion with time or place. This goes beyond simply losing track of what day it is, something we all do from time to time, especially when life gets busy. For someone experiencing early dementia, this confusion can be more persistent and profound. For example, they might forget what month or even season it is, despite clear external clues. Imagine someone dressing in a heavy winter coat on a hot summer day because they've lost track of the time of year. They may also become confused about where they are or how they got there. A simple trip to the grocery store could turn into an unsettling experience if they suddenly can't recall why they're there or how to get back home. This isn't the same as occasionally forgetting the day, but remembering it later. Normal aging can lead to moments of forgetfulness, but someone with early dementia often struggles to reorient themselves without help. This prolonged confusion can lead to disorientation, fear, or even wandering, a serious safety concern. Dementia affects the brain's ability to process and organize information related to time and space. The internal clock that helps us keep track of these details starts to break down, making it difficult to understand the flow of time or remember familiar locations. If this sounds familiar for yourself or a loved one, don't dismiss it as a harmless mistake. Consistent confusion with time or place can be one of the first indications that something more serious is happening. Early recognition and intervention can help manage symptoms and improve safety, so it's crucial to bring these concerns to a healthcare provider as soon as possible. Number 5. Trouble understanding visual and spatial relationships. Another early sign of dementia is difficulty with visual and spatial relationships. This means a person might struggle to interpret what they see, even if their eyesight itself is fine. Dementia can interfere with the brain's ability to process spatial information, leading to challenges that can significantly impact daily life. For example, someone might misjudge the distance to a curb while walking, causing them to stumble. Or they might have trouble parking a car because they can't properly gauge the space between their vehicle and another. Driving can also become dangerous, as they might fail to notice a stop sign or misinterpret road conditions. Even recognizing familiar faces, a task that relies on visual memory, can become confusing or impossible over time. Dementia affects parts of the brain responsible for perception and coordination, which are essential for understanding spatial relationships. This can make once simple tasks, like reading, walking, or navigating familiar environments, increasingly difficult. This sign is especially concerning because it can pose safety risks. Trouble with depth perception or judging distances can lead to accidents, whether it's tripping on stairs or misjudging the speed of oncoming traffic while crossing a street. It's important to note that occasional clumsiness or difficulty reading small text is usually not a cause for alarm. However, when these issues become consistent and interfere with daily activities, especially in ways that weren't a problem before, it's a red flag. If you or a loved one starts showing signs of trouble with visual or spatial tasks, it's important to seek medical advice. Early intervention can help prevent dangerous situations and allow for adjustments to maintain independence and safety for as long as possible. Number 6. Changes in mood and personality. One of the more subtle early signs of dementia is a noticeable change in mood or personality. These shifts can manifest as increased anxiety, depression, irritability, or even apathy. It's more than just having an off day. These changes can persist and gradually become part of a person's everyday behavior. For instance, someone who has always been outgoing and loved attending family gatherings might suddenly withdraw, avoiding social situations and preferring isolation. They may lose interest in hobbies they once enjoyed, like gardening, painting, or playing with their grandchildren. Small frustrations might trigger irritability, or they could seem more anxious in situations they previously handled with ease. Dementia affects areas of the brain responsible for emotional regulation, leading to unpredictable mood swings or a lack of motivation. These changes can also stem from an underlying awareness of their cognitive struggles, which can make them feel frustrated, embarrassed, or overwhelmed. Unfortunately, these signs are often misunderstood. Friends and family might dismiss them as stress, aging, or even stubbornness. While it's true that personality changes can occur with age or during difficult life periods, persistent shifts, especially when paired with other symptoms like memory loss or confusion, may point to dementia. This is why it's so important to pay attention to patterns. If someone starts behaving differently without a clear reason, don't ignore it. Mood and personality changes are not just emotional, they are also neurological. If you notice these signs in yourself or a loved one, take them seriously and seek medical advice. Understanding the cause can lead to early diagnosis, allowing for interventions that improve quality of life and provide much-needed support. Remember, acting early can make all the difference. What to do if you notice these signs? If you or someone you care about is showing signs of early dementia, don't ignore them. Acting early can significantly improve quality of life and slow the progression of symptoms. Here's what you should do: consult a healthcare professional. The first and most important step is to reach out to a doctor for a thorough assessment. A specialist, such as a neurologist, can perform tests to determine if the symptoms are linked to dementia or another condition, like vitamin deficiencies or stress, which might mimic dementia. Early diagnosis opens the door to better treatment and management. Document symptoms. Keep a detailed record of the symptoms you've observed. Note when they occur, their frequency, and any noticeable patterns. For example, are memory lapses happening more often at night? Are mood changes triggered by specific situations? This information will be invaluable for healthcare providers during diagnosis. Explore early intervention options. Early intervention can make a big difference. This includes lifestyle changes like staying physically active, eating a brain-healthy diet, and engaging in mental stimulation. Memory aids, such as planners or phone reminders, can help manage daily tasks. Depending on the diagnosis, medications or therapies might also be recommended. Remember, addressing these signs early isn't just about managing dementia, it's about maximizing independence and quality of life. How to reduce dementia risk, prevention tips. While there's no guaranteed way to prevent dementia, research shows that adopting certain habits can significantly reduce your risk and promote better brain health. Here are 4 proven strategies. Stay physically and mentally active. Regular physical exercise increases blood flow to the brain, which supports cognitive function. Aim for activities like brisk walking, swimming, or yoga to keep your body moving. Mental exercise is just as important. Solve puzzles, play strategy games, or learn new skills to challenge your brain and build cognitive resilience. Even hobbies like painting or playing an instrument can keep your mind sharp. Maintain a healthy diet. What you eat plays a critical role in brain health. Opt for nutrient-rich diets like the Mediterranean or DASH diet, which are packed with vegetables, fruits, whole grains, nuts, fish, and healthy fats. These diets reduce inflammation and support heart health, which directly benefits the brain. Prioritize good sleep habits. Quality sleep is essential for memory consolidation and overall brain health. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of sleep each night and address issues like insomnia or sleep apnea, which can impair cognitive function over time. Manage chronic conditions. Conditions like hypertension, diabetes, and high cholesterol can increase the risk of dementia. Work with your doctor to manage these through medication, lifestyle changes, and regular checkups. By taking proactive steps now, you can protect your brain health and reduce your risk of dementia later in life. It's never too early or too late to start. If you or someone you love is showing any of these early signs of dementia, don't wait, seek help immediately. Early diagnosis can open the door to treatments, resources, and lifestyle adjustments that can make a meaningful difference. Ignoring these symptoms won't make them go away, but addressing them head-on could improve quality of life and safety. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel for more informative health tips, and share this video with your friends and family. Spreading awareness could help someone recognize these signs in their own life or in a loved one's. Thank you for watching and for taking the time to learn about this important topic. Remember, recognizing the early signs of dementia isn't just about awareness, it's about taking action. Stay informed, take care, and we'll see you in the next video.